Monstering! And welcome to episode 60 of My Singing Monsters Live, your one-stop shop for everything to do with My Singing Monsters. Here we are, our very first live stream for My Singing Monsters Live, an episode thereof on YouTube.
That's right, here we are.
I made it. It's very exciting. We are your hosts, Monster Handler Matt.
And Monster Handler Eric. Wow, it's exciting to be here on
man,
YouTube.
Oh man, welcome to the futuristic year of 2020. I made the same comment at the beginning of 2019, and it's futuristic year. This is an extra futuristic year, and an exciting year for all of us. But it's another exciting year to continue talking about My Singing Monsters, everything to do with it. So, if you're joining us for the very first time, welcome. Previously, this show was hosted on our Twitch channel, but now it has found a new, very comfy, very spacious, but very similar looking home here on YouTube. So thank you for joining us today. We've got a lot of exciting stuff to cover. Eric, what do we need to talk about?
Well, we obviously want to address what is it going to be like here in YouTube?
That's right, because it's going to be a lot of what you love
on our new home.
And a little bit different as well.
That's right. So we had two main focuses with sort of the new format that we're going with.
That's right.
One is we want it to be a bit more of a digestible length. We're trying to condense the information.
Streamline.
That's right.
Get all the good bits out.
That's
Throw
right.
out the stuff you don't need.
Little less investment for the same amount of gain.
Exactly.
And then of course we wanted to shift the focus a little bit more on community created content, which means we are going to be focusing on things that we grab from you at home, from Twitter, from YouTube.
Exactly.
Anywhere, really.
Your questions, your monster pieces, your composer pieces,
That's
all
right.
of those excellent parts of the old format are preserved in this brand new, shiny, chrome 2020 version of My Singing Monsters Live.
Now, you might be new to the show. If not, you may have just never participated before. Maybe you've watched all the recaps on YouTube, but you never got to watch live.
But now it's happening live on YouTube.
And
Very exciting.
You might say, how do I contribute some of this fan content to the show? Well, we have a hashtag MyStreamingMonsters. You can post your content virtually anywhere on social media.
Yep,
be
on
it
our
a question or art.
Yep, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and the Monster Handlers will scoop them up, and chances are it'll make an appearance here on My Singing Monsters Live.
A particularly good spot now for questions as well is in the comments right below this video.
In the chat.
As well.
Yes, so
live
in both places.
In the chat.
There's two places.
But
it's so convenient.
More accessible than ever.
Love it.
Because we're already here.
It's so convenient.
It's right below us. We can just scoop them up.
And I know many people had questions about what the future of giveaways was going to be. We are excited to announce that, yes, giveaways will continue here on My Singing Monsters Live. We've got a slightly new system. It's new and improved for 2020. Instead of putting exclamation point, and you know what, I'm not even going to say it, because that's a thing of the past. I don't want to cause any confusion.
Nope.
Why don't you take it away, Eric?
Well, if you're familiar with the show, you might know the old method.
Don't say it.
I won't say it. We used to give away prizes, but the new method is to type exclamation mark giveaway.
That's so much easier.
Now,
you call it the giveaway, it's giveaway.
One major difference for
Okay.
people who are used to
And
the
this
old
one's
way.
very important, so pay attention.
People will often ask, how do I know if I got in? You can trust that if you type it in once, you got in.
It's a foolproof system.
If you are extremely unsure, you can type it in a second time. It will not add any extra chances.
Right, it's not
to the
like
giveaway,
two ballots in.
but
it's
you can
only
do
one.
it. Now, do not type it in 3 times, because there is a spam filter where if you type it in 3 times or more, you will actually be removed.
Yes, we've got a very helpful tool called Nightbot that's going to be helping to sort of manage the chat and the whole live stream experience alongside the talented Monster Handler Sydney. Everyone say hi, Sydney.
Hi, Sydney.
And we've got Monster Handler Michael operating the camera today, so we're at full power here for
That's
2020.
Right. Now, Nightbot, we're still tweaking some of the settings.
That's right,
We're
so
still playing
bear
around.
with us.
So do your best. Follow the rules. It's only trying to help, and we think it'll make the chat and the whole experience that much better for everybody. And speaking of great experiences, let's get into talking about the game, the star, My Singing Monsters.
That's right. It's been, you know what? It's the first week of 2020, but in some ways it's sort of a conclusion of the last part of 2019. This is the final weekend for all sorts of exciting special offers and promotions in My Singing Monsters. Namely, it is the end of the Festival of Yay. That limited time event began in December, but is now going to be concluding. This is your final weekend to collect the seasonal Yule monster on the redecorated Cold Island and Festival of Yay themed seasonal decorations and obstacle decorations. So those are leaving.
I have a question.
Yes.
What if I've already bought the decorations? Are they leaving?
Lucky you. If you bought them, you keep them. If they're down,
That's great.
They're yours.
So if there's ever time to buy them and keep them, now's the time.
Now's the time. The other exciting thing is that this weekend is your final opportunity to get all sorts of limited content, over 75 limited time rares and epics. This is your final weekend to do so. It's your final weekend to collect both rare Yule and epic Yule to complete your trio of Yules. It's the last weekend of all dipsters on all islands discounted to only 1 key, an excellent promotion. And it is your final opportunity to get 75 to 100% more in currency packs. That's all across the board. That's coins, that's diamonds, that's streets, that's key. So again, this is your final weekend. Moving over to Dawn of Fire, this is your last weekend to take advantage of our excellent sale on all celestial monsters being available to buy on Starhenge. It's defying astronomical and astrological reason, but they're all available, but only for a few more days, and then it's going to return to just the Hornicle Celestial, the Celestial of Water, available on Starhenge. And finally, it is your last opportunity to get 100% more in coin and diamond packs in Dawn of Fire. So all of these special offers and promotions are concluding Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, because we're in winter.
Yep.
So that's your opportunity. Please take advantage of these excellent offers. We don't know when they'll be back, because in 2020 we've got a lot of new and interesting stuff to show you, and this is sort of a celebration of what's come before.
And there's so many sales going on right now to take advantage of. This is the time.
You got it.
Got to jump on it.
You got it. And so that's how we're going to begin this new format. We're going to talk about what's new in the monster world each week, sort of do a rundown of the special offers and promotions, just so you know to take advantage of them.
And you know the next part of the new format is?
Yes.
We're going to have some quick questions.
Some quick questions. So this is a resurrection of the old name for this segment.
Old name.
New life.
Yes.
Old name, new life. So,
but as always, we are collecting questions from the community, as we said from the top of the show. Please, if you have any questions, send them to us on social media with the hashtag MyStreamMonsters. We can't promise that we get to every question every episode, but we do save them up. They don't go anywhere.
We save them up. There's a big stockpile.
That's right. And so why don't we jump right into it?
All right. I'm ready to answer some questions.
All right. Kimberly M. asks, what do monsters do when they are not singing?
That doesn't happen very often, but when monsters are not singing, they're eating, they're sleeping, they're socializing, they're doing everything that a singing monster ought to do.
Maybe a little.
Yeah, they're like us, right? They're not, except that singing is their very first hobby.
That's right.
It beats everything else. Stamp collecting,
curling,
curling, you name it. Singing is the very singing is the best hobby.
Excellent. All right.
What's next?
Regiryan346 asks, is there any special bonus to changing the fur corns in the Prism Gate? This is, of course, referring to Dawn of Fire.
Yes.
Does it make more coins or something?
It does make more coins. All of the prismatic monsters recently discovered via the very enigmatic Prism Gate that appeared in Dawn of Fire 2.0. Yes, there is an advantage to turning your regular common monsters into their prismatic versions, and this is also true of the brand new prismatic Toe Jammer that was released on Christmas Day 2019.
What a gift.
Alongside a re-release of the prismatic fur corn.
I can think of one other advantage changing
What?
them. They're really cool.
Yes, they are very specialized. They are unique. They are enigmatic. That's my word of the episode.
Ooh.
Enigmatic. All right, what's next?
Super A Gaming 064 asks, will the Outer Islands come back in the area of the monster world?
I can confirm that no, they will not be coming back. They blipped out of existence at some point around the time that the continent broke apart and became the 5 natural islands of the current monster era. Now, I have previously confirmed that Psychic Island, the Titan Krovlaft, occupies the space where Space Island once was, and recently I confirmed that the Facade Titan of Fairy Island occupies the space where Cloud Island used to be. So at least we have 2 of those outer islands their positions somewhat accounted for in the current reckoning of the monster world geography.
Almost like a reborn, not reborn.
Yes, they have a new lease on life.
Spiritual sequels.
Exactly.
Okay, Fazbear King 87 asks, What happens if a monster with an instrument accidentally breaks it? Do they fix or obtain a new one? For example, if a reedling breaks one of its breathing tubes, does it grow back or is it forever out of tune? I hope not.
So monsters take very good care of their instruments, especially if they are a part of their anatomy. If there is any sort of damage, any injury done to any of their anatomical parts of their body that create music, they go on vocal or instrumental rest. Perhaps you've heard of this the way that some human performers do. They go on rest and they just wait for the apparatus to heal. And if they are an artificial or a sort of a secondary instrument that isn't part of their anatomy, they'll tune it up. They'll do a tune-up and just make sure that we get it back. They have a lot of sentimentality and affinity for their instruments, so they want to make sure that as opposed to just replacing them, they repair and sort of spiff up their existing ones to get them back to playable states.
Well, sure, some monsters really grow up with their instruments.
Yes, exactly.
They grow them.
Yeah, exactly. So they're very near and dear to their hearts.
Okay. We Love Everything asks, do the different letters in the monster's alphabet sound like the ones in English, or do they sound completely different? If so, what do they sound like? And are they different for every monster because they make different sounds? E.g., Hooga Booga for pumpkin.
So, remarkably, and this sort of speaks as well of the alignment of a calendar year in the monster world taking the exact amount of time that it takes in the human world as well. Yes, I can confirm that the alphabet of the monstrous language does correspond perfectly to the human alphabet. So if you wanted to transcribe Ooga Booga, you would use those same characters in Monstrous to speak it out.
And correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
But I believe in reading Monstrous, you basically just speak it in your natural tongue.
That's the amazing thing about Monstrous, right? Is that it's sort of understandable. There's all different sort of dialects. Each monster performs a different musical part, but they are all mutually intelligible.
And
it's
so,
a beautiful language.
And so each monstrous language could be read in any of those sounds or our own.
That's correct. If
languages.
there's one thing that monsters are very good at, it's sort of linguistic intuition. They're very good at it. And music being the universal language, they're well prepared for it.
There we go. Hard-hitting question here. The Monster Explorers asks, what was the first monster to exist?
I believe the very first monster to exist that was created as concept artwork, sort of a proof of concept for my singing monsters back in 2011 or early 2012 was in fact Furcorn. Part of the reason why we have a designation of them as being special and that they ought to be protected, because they in the same way that monsters are sentimental about their instruments, we are sentimental about Furcorn. We do love Furcorn very dearly.
Very nice. At VHSCJ asks, are the Whimsies intentionally the colors of the Pom Pom family, or is that just a coincidence?
The Pom Pom family, also known as the Pomely. Yes, that is purely coincidental. The red, yellow, blue, green shades, they're fairly commonplace if you want to get 4 colors in the mix.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Missile the Boomy Boy? Missile the Boomy Boy.
I love that username.
How does Incisor make its music?
Incisor makes its music by rattling the sort of loosely held teeth in its jaw, almost like the human instrument, the vibro slap, which does create its sound a little differently. The Incisor snaps its jaw shut very deliberately, and it rattles the teeth. Now, you may think, oh, are those teeth ever going to fall out? No, they're just sort of socketed differently than human teeth. Because I know I've had many a nightmare in my life about my teeth being loose and falling out, but Incisor does not have to worry about them. That's exactly the way that those teeth ought to be.
Excellent. At Lazy Flakes asks, is the Dawn of Fire volcano and Cain's volcano connected?
I wonder if they mean the volcano sitting atop Cana's head, or the volcano that has appeared in a couple of our videos here on YouTube, like our Fire Haven reveal video and Fire Oasis as well. Certainly that volcano, which has the unofficial name, unofficial/official name of, or at least the inside of it, the living core of the monster world. Yes, those are 2 volcanoes. Those 2 volcanoes are one and the same. That volcano that appears sort of beside the continent in Dawn of Fire is the same that has previously surfaced above the ocean, the living ocean, and is now a landmark in the current era of the monster world.
Now, is there any connection to
Cana's
dome volcano?
the old dome, other than the fact that Cana is the core sort of elemental of fire. They just sort of work in tandem with each other.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Dorkensposh. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. As always,
You're doing your
as
best.
we did on Twitch, we apologize for any mispronunciations. Please let us know if there's a different way to pronounce your name. Why haven't we seen ethereals in Dawn of Fire? Did they only appear after the Dawn of Fire on separate islands?
That's what we've been led to believe based on the lack of paleontological evidence. There certainly seems to be no record of the ethereals having existed prior to the current era of My Singing Monsters. Now, there are some theories running around that perhaps the pocket dimension of Ethereal Island was only created in the first place once its colossal sort of fled the main reality entirely and sort of set up shop in its own little world, trying to escape the calamity that was affecting the main reality of the monster world. But there is no evidence that the ethereals existed during the early era of the monster world history.
Okay, very cool. This is going to be the last question of this episode.
Yep.
Swingpin MS says, quick question. How did they know the name of this segment? If you water octopus, would it grow bigger?
Fortunately, I say no. The only way that you can make an octopus grow bigger, other than, of course, feeding it all the way up to its topmost level, in both My Singing Monsters and Dawn of Fire, is by bigifying it. That's the only way to get it bigger. Its growth is perhaps more akin to that of an octopus than it is a tree, it being sort of a hybrid of the two.
Fair enough. Well, I lied. We have one last question.
Okay,
It's a very
I'm ready.
special
I'm
question.
ready.
It's a question we like to gather from the community.
Okay.
To give you a little quiz to see how you do. And we're going to go ahead and call that Stump of the Week.
Stump of the Week. Okay, so some of you may be familiar with this segment from the earlier form of My Singing Monsters.
We
Live.
decided no more freebies for you. It's do or not.
Okay.
Do. It's one question each week. You are either stumped or you're a winner.
This is a pass-fail scenario.
That's
okay,
right.
So I'm ready.
Here it is.
Okay.
From Woohoos. Out of the original 30 monsters, how many are vocalists? Out of the original 30 monsters, how many are vocalists?
I knew this because of My Singing Monsters composer at one point. I know that the split is either 17, 13, no, maybe it's 6. I'm gonna say 17. 17 of 30.
Stumped! It is 12.
Only 12?
You were so close with your 13. I thought you were going to narrow it down.
So I was stumped.
Wow, wow.
So let it be known forevermore that episode 60 was a stumping.
Stumped.
I did not
You're
get
stumped
it.
until
I did
next
not-
week when
I-
you have a chance to redeem.
to redeem.
Now,
Alright.
prior to, I know Sydney
What's that, Michael?
Sydney doesn't like to keep track of all how many you have right now.
But now it's just
But
week
this
to
is
week.
simple.
But this is
Yes.
so easy. This is
You
a
know what?
did he do it?
You're
Nice and
0
easy.
and 1.
Well,
Yes. Well, we've sort of clean slate, tabula
Yes.
rasa, right?
I like to
Right.
imagine that you're stumped, and then next week if you get it right, your status has changed.
Well,
Nice
yeah,
and easy.
but you know what? You know what ought to cheer me up though
What's that?
is if we take a look at some of the amazing artwork that has been created by the community in a segment we call Monster Pieces.
Please, yes. Let's look at some monster pieces.
So let's take a look.
Okay. Wow, this looks handcrafted.
From Aiden0090360, we have some excellent thumpies. There's Furface and Newbie, rendered in pure physical form.
It seems very well done.
Wonderful. Wonderfully well done. Next up, from
Wow.
Captain Snarks, we have this very detailed and very curious adaptation of the Celestial Galvana into sort of a female sorceress.
Mm-hmm.
I love the sort of power that you can see that's existing between the palms of this figure. And I like the adaptation of Galvana's sort of body into sort of suit of armor.
Yes, I really like the textures going down. You sort of got the armor. You've got sort of almost like the further fur, if you will,
Yes.
down there. And I find that the back, the neck piece really comes across well in this piece as sort of an elaborate armor piece.
Beautiful, Captain Snarks. Next up, from Kahua Hualun, I don't know that. From Gabriel, we have a beautiful image of Hula's outstretched hands looking at some excellent fireworks in the sky celebrating 2020.
How nice. Very exciting.
I like the shading on the hands.
Yes.
Hula. From Barracuda, we have here a very sweet, I'd say, pair of quibble heads taking a look at Glacier, the celestial of cold. They're sort of communing here. There's a very tiny snowman there that perhaps the quibble has prepared, and Glacier is sort of saying, "Isn't that cute, that little snowman? Did you know that I have some limited control over the element of cold?" Very
Yes, Glacier there looks very serene.
Very.
Zen.
From Ben K, here we have a very sweet picture celebrating 7 years of Yay, a common furcorn with its rare cousin enjoying a cup of hot cocoa.
That's right, all dressed up.
And a heart above them to echo the Monster Likes situation that is actually canon in-game.
That is so nice.
Well done, Ben K.
Great use of stripes all over this piece.
Yes.
Whoa!
From Bolan Yotke, we have an amazing artistic adaptation of the Wublin Astropod.
Yes, this is terrifying.
Yes, this reminds me of I think it's like Native American imagery of like the skull mounted upon the creature. It's sort of like a cryptid, a creature of lore.
Yes.
Look at that face. A lot scarier than you'd see on the Astropod in game.
Very, very much embracing the monster aspect.
Oh, absolutely.
Here,
And
but very well
yes,
done.
and the lighting effects in this are beautiful.
Very
well
cool.
done, Bolan Yotke. Oh, from Jonathan M, we have here sort of a mashup of different parts of the monster world.
Can you read this
I
monster handler?
can. It's Happy 2020, and it has a rare geode on Psychic Island atop the Kravlaft Titan's head.
That's
sort
right.
of a merging of different elements of the monster world. I love it, and I like the effects of the fireworks. Very well done.
No better way to bring
Jonathan.
it in the new year.
Exactly. Next up from Catinator, we have a very accurate Bogart done pretty close to the in-game style, but with a little bit more of a cartoonified effect.
There's some very, very nice detailed shading.
Yes, and that Bogart, a little bit more confident than we normally see the lip-biting Bogart.
That's right, yeah.
Comporting itself. From Phantom, here we have a very cute, looks like a Ghast that is wearing those special 2020 ring in the new year glasses with a cute, very cute top hat as well.
Gas in a hat.
Gassed in a hat. Who'd have thunk it? Oh, the things you can think. And from Waffly, we have, a collection of all the prismatic furcorns that were recently discovered through the Prism Gate on both Party and Space Islands. And they're all sort of taking it in. There's common furcorn there at the bottom saying, oh, there's a lot more furcorns now to have to sort of share furcornly duties with. But hopefully they all get along.
I like the sense that they're all kind of floating around.
Yes,
They're
perhaps,
all-
perhaps this is set on Space Island.
Very
Well
exciting.
done, Waffly. That was our last monster piece
That's
of
right.
this episode
episode.
60. So, we are now approaching that very exciting time in every episode of My Sing Monsters Live where we draw the winner of our giveaway.
That's
now,
right.
we usually keep this a secret, and I think we should continue that tradition in 2020 until we decide what to announce it at the end of the episode rather than sort of spoil it at the beginning. But the winner of today's giveaway, randomly selected from our viewers, is going to be winning an epic Yule.
Wow.
An epic Yule, because of course it's the conclusion of the Festival of Yay, so there's no better time to snap one up before it departs along with its common and rare cousins. And do we have a winner chosen?
I'm just waiting on the official news.
We will have one
Monster Handler.
very soon.
Monster Handler Michael is getting relayed the data from Monster Handler Sydney, who's
So-
there operating. So this is one of the things that we're figuring out, because we're on the new platform, it's going to work a little differently than the last one. We still got a little bit of growing pains.
Well, that's what we should do right now.
Yes.
If you are drawn as a winner for a giveaway today,
Yes.
or any other Friday, because we air every Friday
Yep.
at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
If you are chosen as the winner, please put your BBB ID into the chat.
Yes.
If for some reason you are unable, you can put it in the comments below. The chat should help us get things done quicker.
Yes. That's sort of the preferred way. It makes it easier for us, and hopefully that means you'll get your prize a little faster. And when I say your, I am, of course, referring to today's winner of the episode 60 giveaway, and that is, thank you for the drum roll, Kyle Yuzi.
Congratulations!
Kyle Yuzi. So congratulations, Kyle. Please post your BBB ID in the chat, and Monster Island Sydney will snatch it up and will be used to deliver your brand new, free of charge, Epic Yule right to you.
Now, because for some people on YouTube, this might be the first time watching the show, the prizes do usually come early the following week because it's Friday, everyone's on their way out. That's why it's a good day to do the show.
Yep.
But it also means that we don't necessarily have the time to hand out the prize following. So usually it's the week after that we get it to you, but rest assured, we will get it to you. And on that note, I'd like to say one final special thank you to the people who have been following us since Twitch. I know we said at the end of last episode that the people who are subscribed on Twitch would be getting an extra little surprise, and I believe...
Yes, you are correct, Monster Handler Eric. Right before today's episode 60 aired, I was able to deliver those special prizes to the subscribers back on Twitch who had given us their BBB ID. We're still waiting to hear from many of you that BBB ID so that we can deliver that prize. But for those of you who did get back to us, please take a look in your mailbox because your special little thank you prize is waiting there for you to be collected. And take advantage of it this last weekend of all these special offers and promotions.
And with that, we hit right near the end of our new streamlined stream.
Streamlined stream. Oh, I like that. That sounds like a concept album.
That's right. But we do have one more feature. Again, we want to focus as much
Fondness.
content created by young deer.
Yes.
As much fan content as we possibly can, and how could we ignore the hard work that so many amazing composers do on our app, My Singing Monsters Composer.
That's right, and so as is customary for these episodes of My Singing Monsters Live, we're going to conclude with a composer piece. And this composer piece chosen, I thought was totally appropriate because it's that time of year where the Festival of Yay is concluding, but that doesn't mean that the fun on Cold Island needs to end. Here is an excellently rearranged version of the Cold Island song called Sweaty Cold Island, perhaps inspired by the Sweaty Settlement Island skin,
I hope so.
composed by MSMX Music. So we'll see you next week for episode 61 of My Singing Monsters
Right
Live
here on
YouTube, our new home. And until such time, we'll see you later.
Happy monstering!